Yo, what's going on, everybody? UltimatDjz here with another teaching trick video for you. Here we are, August, ArcFall, M45, Strange New Worlds Part 3, the big finale, the event store month, and we've got some stuff to tell you about. We are going to talk to you about the new ship that you get this month. We're going to talk to you about the new research and the new abilities. We're going to talk to you about the new crew, the new officers that you can get, and how all of this is going to play together. There is a lot to do. There's a lot to talk about, and we're going to break it all down for you right now. Now, I will tell you straight out the gate that this month looks very high ops intense. Like we'll talk about this a little bit more as we go through, and I don't mean to sound like I'm glossing over the fact that there's great stuff for everybody. Really, truthfully, those of you who've been listening to the podcast, those of you who've been watching the Twitch streams, I am not necessarily 1,000% looking forward to this arc. I am looking forward to Scopely proving me wrong. I am looking forward to Scopely surprising me. But right here, right now, I'm not going to offer any other opinion other than that. I'm going to let you decide for yourself as we disclaim, as we teach, as we give you the facts of this, the finale, Part 3 of Strange New Worlds. Let's hop on into... Where's my button? Hit the button, and there we go. Let's hop on into STFC.space. Shout out Ripper, your heroic criminal trash can. Thank you so much for the great work that you do, as always, as 90% of our data and assets will come from right here. Let's start with the brand new ship. It's called the Mantis. It is a G3/G4/ it's a G, it's one of those hybrid ships, all right? It's a tier 12 ship. It's going to start at 1 and go all the way up. It is Ops 33 to build. And it is going to kill Action Brood hostiles. All right, so this is the new loop I was telling you about. I was kind of teasing about this new loop. This is a new hostile in a new system and a new thing to do. It's new currencies. We've teased and joked about the fact that there's so many new currencies coming this month, and we will talk to you a little bit about those. But taking a look right here, the first thing that's obvious is we've got another Borg probe, got another Swarm Franklin style mechanic here in which we're going to have hostiles with a special ship that will inflict serious amounts of damage to those hostiles that otherwise normal ships may struggle against. I mean, listen, when you're a tier 1, level 5, it's a 70,000% damage buff, all right? If we come down here and take a look at just level tier 1, all right, the DPR is 17,000. Well, you multiply that by 70,000%. That's the DPR that you're going to be putting out against these hostiles. Do any of your other ships do that? My guess is not easily. So this is going to be the ship of choice to take out these new hostiles, which is going to make it difficult for players who don't have this ship up front to be able to participate in this new loop. It will, and then of course if you're 32 and down, then you're not going to get it anyway. Shipyard 33 is required to build the ship, and as you progress this thing upward, it is going to eventually get a little bit expensive. We're going to have these power cores. These are ops locks, and we're going to see that they are going to lock to an ops level. I do not have the chart as of this moment, as of the time of taping, as to what it's going to be, but it is going to be very, very similar to the Franklin. Ops 33 is tier 1, Ops 34 tier 2, Ops 35 will be tier 3, and but then it will space out a little bit as we get to the higher ops levels. But we take a look at these costs right here. Even just to get to tier 2, we're seeing that it's going to cost G3 uncommon materials and a special currency. So this is one of those areas where I kind of have to wonder what we learned from the Galaxy research tree and not feel real good about this, and the combination of a special currency plus not small amounts of titanium, dilithium, and G3 materials. As we continue to scale up, let's say to roughly tier 5, which I'm going to assume is probably the break for, oh no, maybe... Here we go. So tier 6 is probably going to be our break for Ops 39, in that you can see it's still all G3 material, all right? G3 uncommon, G3 rare. It is a battleship, so it's taking a lot of that. And then uncommon crystal, which is not obviously overflowing in our bases right now, but taking materials, which... All right, whatever. And then synthetic nitrium, which is your new currency. This is basically Mantis parts, all right? Once you get past Tier 7 and you start breaking into the G4 range, you're going to see G4 materials and awesome battleship parts, okay? We're going to see G4 parts, which are already kind of being split up between your normal faction ships and even that of the sarcophagus, and now you get to consider the Mantis as well. So really, really tight commodities there. As we come down, we see 7 components, 3 weapons, armor, shield, cargo bay, and warp engines. And what does this ship do other than kill these hostiles? Well, it is also going to be an anti-Cerritos. All right, an anti-Cerritos, because what this ship is what it's going to do is essentially be a debuffer. All right, the Cerritos gives buffs to players. This Mantis is a debuffer. We come down here and we take a look at the debuff, and it is going to extend its duration, and it's going to decrease its cooldown as you tier this thing up, but it's actually going to negatively impact the player whom you target it with. What are those targets, or what are those debuffs? I'll tell you, I don't know 100% that they're here in STFC.space just yet. They probably will be very soon, but here's what they're going to do. This debuff, hold on, I'm looking at my cheat sheet here. Here we go. The active ability, or when you spend the Mantis juice on this thing, the targeted ship, the enemy player ship, will be quote-unquote in a state of disruption. That disruption is going to include a percentage, negative percentage critical chance, so it's going to debuff critical chance. It's going to debuff critical damage. It could also even delay an attack, all right, or -1 attack per round. And the most interesting piece here is that it will, in fact, disrupt warp ability. You're not going to be able to warp out. If you get debuffed, if you get venomized, I don't know what we're going to call this thing yet. If you get debuffed by the Mantis, you will not be able to warp. So that's kind of an interesting mechanic. But it will cost this concentrated venom. It's going to cost 500 of this currency. You will be able to hold up to 5,000. That would be 10 uses. You will, just like the Cerritos and just like the cargo or the cloaking juice, you're going to get enough of this to be able to do 2 a day. The cargo warehouse will cap out at 5,000 so that you can actually have 10 uses, and this stays the same all the way up. So promoting it is not going to reduce the cost. You will always just get 2 uses per day with a max holding of 10 of these debuffs warp disruptors. That is the Mantis. Now, how is it going to play into these hostiles? Well, we can see against the Axion hostiles, it's going to give a significant damage boost. This is just like Swarm. This is just like Borg. These hostiles are introducing a new loop. Now, I kind of teased or hinted at the fact that we did have this new loop coming, but it isn't really new. It is an addition to the game, but I feel like it's a lot more of a kind of like a hybrid of the Amalgam and the Cerritos. You're going to go kill these hostiles. These hostiles are going to drop venom. You're going to take that venom. You're going to refine it for the Mantis juice. You're also going to refine it for research currency, which is going to determine the amount of debuff that you give. We'll take a look at some of these researches here in just a moment. And then it's also going to drop Strange New Worlds recruit tokens, which there is a recruit box that's going to have Pike, Ortegas, Uhura, and Spock, the Strange New Worlds PvE grinding crew, plus a new officer that we're going to talk to you about here in just a moment. You'll have recruit tokens for that. Plus, you're going to get the Mantis parts. That was the what we just showed you a moment ago. And you're going to get Syndicate XP. So for a lot of us, this is actually not necessarily a horrible payout in that it's going to speed up our advancement through the Syndicate XP research tree, and we know that the Syndicate buffs are actually pretty daggone good. Now, let's take a look at some of this Mantis research. We are seeing here that this one, for example, is going to increase the Mantis speed. It's costing these synthetic ions, which is stuff you're getting from the refinery, and dilithium. So no other materials here. That's good. No other materials, no other resources other than dill and these ions, which you're going to get from the research tree. But if I'm looking for stuff that's going to have something to do with debuffing my opponent, I'm taking a look here. Here's increasing. See, these are all PvE related researches. Let's see, where can we find one of the debuffs? And maybe, listen, maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe it's not researched at all. Maybe this research is just helping you with the hostiles, but I thought they said that there would be. But we'll take a look. Now, we do see here there's a new prime. Synthetic Nitrium Refinery rewards, basically just going to increase the amount of the Mantis parts that you're getting out of the refined. This is a prime that's going to be coming out. There was also another prime here on the first page, which is Action Harvester. You're going to double the amount of venom that you get from the hostiles. This is another prime related to your PvE grind. I am not seeing any of the Mantis research in the Starships tree, at least at this point, unless I missed it. Yeah, I'm not actually seeing it right now. So we'll have to get a verification on that as to whether or not that is actually something related to the debuff. All we know at this point related to the debuff is that they did in fact say that it was going to be percentage critical chance, percentage critical damage, and the warp disruptor, as well as a potential for attack delay. So those are the researches, and that's what you're going to be spending that research dust on. All right, Mantis parts, of course, we already talked about that, upgrading the ship, and Syndicate XP. So let's talk about Syndicate XP, because a lot of you are going to say, well, some of you are going to say, well, I'm maxed with Syndicate. That is not interesting to me. Well, no, you're not anymore. Syndicate is now expanding, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, currently, you can go all the way down here to level 25. Level 25 is 1.2 million Syndicate XP. Now, a lot of us free-to-play, I'm a free-to-play, a lot of us are finding ourselves probably in that 13 to 16 range when it comes to your Syndicate XP. I'm currently at level 15, which means I've still got a long way to go, meaning that this new loop is going to help speed me up, trying to get me through to the level 25 max, or at least where the level 25 did max. 10 new levels are being added all the way down here to level 35. A new officer is being added, a Syndicate officer at that. His name is Mavery, and he will be able to synergize with Grush. We're going to talk to you about all the officers coming up in a moment. We're going to see normal things like mitigation, scrapping speed, warp speed, extra Syndicate XP, and so forth. Here's bonus loyalty chest rewards, which is nice. These are your 7 and 30-day loyalty chests, where you're going to get more materials out of those, more officer presets, and, just some extra. Here's piercing, ship XP, warp speed. Let's come on down here to level 30. Level 30, 2.64 million Syndicate XP. But here's something new. I teased between the arcs about generators getting something. Well, it's certainly not going to be easy nor cheap to get that benefit, but generators A and B of steel generators, A and B of titanium generators, and A and B of dilithium generators are getting passive abilities built in. You have to unlock the Syndicate level to get that. So here at level 30, 2.6 million Syndicate XP, you're going to get a hull health points buff to your generators, A and B. Come on down here to level 33, shield health points to the titanium generators, and 35 damage buff added to the dilithium generators. Now, you saw here up to 800% total. Let's see how that breaks down. Let's go take a look at what these buildings are going to look like here. These whole health bonuses starting even at level 1. All right, which obviously nobody's going to be at level 1. So to answer some players' questions about what these abilities could do and how they're going to scale, well, this is it. You're going to get that scaling all the way through. Whatever level these generators are for you, you're going to get them all the way through. The key to unlocking this ability is going to be in your Syndicate advancement. Now, let's not pretend that level 30 Syndicate is going to be cheap or free to play anytime in the next, decade. So let's take a look at a really high ops level player here. Let's just say ops 50. Well, hey, that's not too awful bad. It's a 225% bonus on Generator A. Let's take a look and see if Generator B is going to do the same thing, and it is if we go to 50. So that's 225. So that's a 450% whole health bonus, which is not small. I mean, that's pretty substantial that you're going to get just by, let's assume that you're at 50 or higher. Just by getting to that Syndicate level is going to turn on a minimum 450% whole health bonus. You'll notice that even on Generator C, it's not there, okay? It's only on Generators A and B. Same kind of thing if we take a look at the lithium generator, which was damage boost. That's Syndicate level 35, probably going to be higher than level 50 even to get to that point. But again, you can see pretty significant damage bonuses. Same thing with the shield health points. Those things are amplifying big time, but obviously not anything that a free-to-play is going to get to enjoy this month with regards to the Syndicate advancement. Moreover, regarding the Mantis, we do know that it will not be free-to-play this month. You will be able to buy the entire ship right up front. You will be able to earn 50 of the 100 necessary blueprints through the elite track of the Battle Pass, so $20 can get you 50 of these, and there will be a pack to finish you off towards the end of the month if you want to finish the ship then. So you can get 50 through the $20 Battle Pass and then another 50 through a pack. If you want, or, buy the entire ship up front, or just finish the month with only half of the blueprints. There will be a free-to-play path, but that has not been revealed as to what it will be. The only thing that I am allowed to tell you at this point regarding the future free-to-play path is that it will be presented by the end of this year. All right. That doesn't mean you'll have it. That doesn't mean that, you can have the entire ship. It means that a free-to-play path will be presented by December 31st, 2022. Do with that what you will. We don't know the path. We don't know how it's coming. We don't know how fast it'll be, but they do promise a free-to-play path by the end of the year. So use your decision-making skills this month to determine whether or not this is a ship that you do want to invest in. After all, it is providing Syndicate XP, which some will tell you is relatively valuable. All right. And that is not necessarily the worst thing that you could be looking to do. Let's come back to the officers. Normally we do those up front, but there was other things to do. Let's talk about the officers. First, we're going to talk about Mavery. He's the Syndicate officer. He will synergize with Grush, so we could finally start to get some synergy here going on with the Orion Syndicate. Captain's Maneuver, increasing max cargo by 40%, 20% on synergy side. Since there's only one other Syndicate officer, you could get that up to 60% if you had him and Grush. The officer ability, though, this one's actually really not that bad. Officer ability, increasing crystal gas and ore mining speed by 100%. That's up to tier 1. Get up to 200%, which is essentially the G4 skins were 200%, and this is all three of those skins built in to one epic officer. This guy, obviously, for those of you who do value Syndicate, are going to get this, and this is not a bad officer to have, but Syndicate progression is the only way that you're going to get it. He will take independent credits. All right, also coming over here to a new epic officer that we're getting this month. Let's take a look at Strange New Worlds. Hemmer. No, he is not a survey officer. Nor does he even have a Captain's Maneuver, but he is an epic officer. No Captain's Maneuver, officer ability, increasing Venom loot by 75% at tier 1, going up to 200% by tier 5. Guys, this epic officer is literally built for the Mantis. That's it. Now, he does have a lower deck ability, and this one could definitely find some use. Increasing health stats of all officers by 70% at tier 1, 150% up to tier 5. I can see him being able to be used on the lower deck in a lot more scenarios than I would see him on the bridge, which is honestly, again, a narrative failure. Hemmer is an epic officer and will be the only Strange New Worlds officer this month. Wait, what? What are you talking about, DJ? Well, there are 3 other officers. They are a part of the strike team, ladies and gentlemen. These are PvP officers. Let's start with Epic La'an. And yes, all 3 of these are re-releases of officers that have only been in the game a month or 2. Yes. Strike Team La'an is the epic officer. Captain's ability, while on a battleship fighting a burning player ship. At the start of each round, La'an increases the number of shots per weapon by 10%, but with synergy, 65% per side, that's 130, giving her up to a 140% boost to the number of shots. That's actually not small. It's pretty nice. It's pretty substantial. But you'll note it's only while on a battleship. Scopely really kind of doubling down on this Strange New Worlds, the entire arc only being good for a specific ship. Now, thankfully, we will note that this does not require you to only hit a certain ship, but this strike team is battleship strike team only. They've got to be on a battleship. The officer ability, which is going to obviously work hand in hand if you're going to use La'an in the captain's chair, which I think is probably her place. While on a battleship fighting a player ship, each time your ship hits with a weapon, Strike Team La'an will have a 60% chance of burning it, which obviously increases with your tier ups, and this burning then is going to proc her captain's maneuver. Okay, so she is a standalone officer. Coming over here to take a look at Ortegas, Strike Team Ortegas. Captain's ability, not whatever. When shot by an explorer, Ortegas has a 5% chance of burning him for 3 rounds, and with synergy, you could get that up to 45%. Again, we've talked about throwaway captain's maneuvers. This is one. However, on the officer on the bridge, not a bad thing. While on a battleship fighting any player ship, Ortegas causes weapons shot by them to have a 40% chance of delaying their attack by 1 round. This is pretty substantial, especially when you're talking high-level PvP. Even G3 PvP, this is a substantial ability, and that percentage proc chance will increase up to 70% at Tier 5. That is a pretty good ability if you're going to fly a battleship. Okay? If you're going to fly a battleship. Very, very niche. Una comes in, and even though the epic Una did not wow us with her ability, this one will. The officer ability anyway. Captain's ability, listen, okay, while in combat against a player explorer, Strike Team Una will increase all officer stats by 130% each round with 10% synergy, making it a max of 150. Not a bad thing, okay? Really not a bad thing, but not probably her primary use. She is going to be great on the bridge while on a battleship fighting a player ship. Una will decrease their shield mitigation by 25% each round. Folks, this is massive. All right, 25% up to 40% at Tier 5. Guys, your shield mitigation is only 80% to start. Okay, so in 3 rounds, you will be 5% shield, 95% hull damage when fighting on a battleship with Una. This is a substantial ability, all right? I'm not necessarily trying to say that this crew is great. As a matter of fact, I fundamentally don't like what they're doing with these crews. Crews for only one specific ship. I mean, and re-releases of officers after only a month. You know, I'm not a fan of how this is rolling out. But these abilities, actually, I mean, if you do have a battleship as a primary PvP ship, well, it just got kind of stupid, all right? I mean, really, the combination of these 3 officers is going to be very, very substantial in PvP. Not only decreasing their shield mitigation, but also doing the burning thing with La'an up here at Captain, increasing the number of your own shots, all right? Increasing the number of your own shots, decreasing their mitigation, or decreasing their shield mitigation, and then coming in and delaying their attacks. I mean, it's just stupid, all right? It is a very, very good PvP crew, but again, super niche, battleships only. And here in the final month of the Strange New Worlds arcs, like, when do we get interceptors and explorers? And, you know, I just don't, whatever. All right, there are your officers. We talked about Syndicate. Here, let me tell you how the officers are going to come. You will get Mavery, obviously, through the Syndicate tree. You're going to get Hemmer available in one auction that I know of. Okay, there are going to be 2 auctions this month that I'm aware of. Hemmer will be one. Strike Team La'an will be the second, so only one of each of these. And they have also told us that one of the 2 rares will be guaranteed free to play through engagement, but the other one you'll get a bunch of shards for, but not necessarily the unlock unless you engage in the elite track of the battle pass. All right, but a true free to play should get one of these 2. They have not specified which one that will be. So Syndicate, the Mantis, the officers, and that's it. So if we're talking auctions and a couple of officers for battleships, we're talking a special ship, we're talking Syndicate XP, which is going to be super, super expensive. Like, yo, Scopes, what you doing for the free-to-play this month? I would be curious to know myself. There will be more. We'll have an event guide video that we'll share with you coming up on the calendar. We will be able to tell you that ticketed events are coming. We've got 9 days of ticketed events. We'll give you more information about that coming soon. And, just for funsies, 7 new currencies that you will be dealing with on a daily basis. Just thought I'd drop that in there. Ripper said there would be 24, and he's not technically wrong, but a lot of them, the Prime, we didn't talk about the Prime earlier. There is a new research. The Primes, I think I did show you, but the Primes are taking this new pure Venom. It's basically a new prime particle, pure Venom, so that's a new currency. And then the Venom and the Mantis Venom juice and all this stuff. 7 new currencies you're going to deal with on a daily basis. We'll teach you all about them right here. Community, how are you feeling? Because you know how I'm feeling. Leave your questions, leave your comments in the section below. Please do share with us what you're thinking. Share this video with your team so you guys can be fully versed in everything that is coming. More content over the next couple of days, including your event guide video and some teaching on these new brood hostiles, where they're going to be, how you need to hit them, how you're going to be able to crew to hit them, and what the refinery is going to look like. And we'll take a look at some projections, all right here on Teaching Trek. My name is UltimatDjz. I thank you for being here. Please smash that subscribe button. Click on the bell so you know when new stuff comes. Share with your team. Maybe you could click the join button down there. We've got a subscription service right here on the YouTube. We'd be honored if you would join your name to the list. Thank you guys so very, very much. My name is UltimatDjz, right here for Teaching Trek. Your friendly neighborhood cat person saying meow for now. Happy Arc Day, everybody. We'll talk more about it. Don't you worry about a thing. Meow for now, everybody. Bye. Meow. Peace. Meow.